Ahoy there! So, today is bus maintenance day. Gonna fix a couple mechanical discrepancies. Still working on stuff while the family's out there at the Alaska State Fair, which, let's face it, I would much rather work on a bus than go to the fair.
So where we left off last week, Larry figured out our fuel leak, but he still had some cleanup to do. Russ also figured out his valve cover gasket was leaking and got that fixed. Unfortunately, we did not get video coverage of that repair. So while Morgan and I were at the fair, Larry took it upon himself to tackle a few other projects.
Today, we're gonna take a look at some broken seats, and we're gonna see if we can fix them. All right, so here's what we got going on here. While I was dealing with that, I looked over to the seats and I said to myself, I need to take care of this. So I've had the same failure on both seats. These seats rotate and slide. Actually, they do everything. You can see right now I've got it rotated and I've got it slid that way so that I can get under here. You have to pardon, there's a little bit of dust. That's to be expected on a 35-year-old bus, right? Both of them failed right here. Now, if you see there's what's left of the bracket here. This air actuator draws it in so you can slide the seat back and forth. Now what I have been doing is I've just had these vice grips. Had them on kind of like this so I could reach them and then I could just slide it back and forth. I'm going to try to figure out why it broke and then try to fix it. Now I can tell you, and I saw the same thing on the other seat. When you look at it, I don't want to pull on that airline too hard. I think I know what the problem is. This bracket here looks like it's moved all the way out as far as it goes on both of them. And what's going on here is when this thing is in the extended position like it is now, see how it goes a little bit farther than it should? And it looks like it just snapped it off. And the other one's even worse. And it's at the end of its travel there. So what I'm gonna do, I think, disconnect this, then I'm gonna disconnect this, I'm gonna pull the bracket off, and then I'm gonna see if I can round off that bracket so that I have a little bit more travel, get it so that I can adjust this. It looks like it's bottomed out going that way. So what I'm going to check is I'm going to take this apart and see if this is threaded, which I presume it is. If it is, I'm going to see if I can shorten its throw a little so that this doesn't try to snap it off. Now, how am I going to reconnect this? Ordinarily, I would just weld it, but I don't have access to my welder. So I'm going to have to come up with something else. I don't know what that's going to be yet. This bolt appears to be a 7/16. This bolt appears to be a 9/16. Got a Phillips screw there. This is a universal screwdriver. And then I'm also going to use my extended vice grips, probably, because from what I could tell, the 9/16 doesn't really want to go under there. So, just like I thought, I've got a clearance issue. In this case, both brackets are the same, and both of them are hitting on this corner where they just can't go far enough to get full travel. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bolt these back together so that I can cut them consistently, and then I'm going to see if I can machine these babies down and solve the problem. And then secondly, I have to figure out how I'm going to handle that piece of metal being broken. So I'll be forever grateful to my buddy Russ for letting me use his shop. I'm going to have to find something. He doesn't have a bench grinder, it looks like. So I'm going to have to find something else so I can cut this corner off. Okay, so all I could find was this. Now, is this too big of a tool for this job? Yes. But can you ever really have too much power? Anyhow, here we go. So I took out the bolt because I'd like a flat surface to cut from. Okay, that actually worked, but we have a sharp edge here, so I'm going to see if I can find something to round this out. So I got lucky, and I actually found a file. So I'm going to smooth this baby out a little bit. So you can tell by the dust, you know, and the paint marks, this used to be as far as it went, but now that I've tapered off that one side, I can go all the way over, about as far as I want. Going any farther wouldn't do any good because I'd hit the base plate. So I'm going to put it together and see if I've got enough room. You know, it's the simple stuff that'll get you every time, like trying to find nuts and bolts. Anyhow, found what I needed. So, okay, so the seat appears to be a clippered as well. Let's see, I think that's abbreviation for Cincinnati, Ohio. Don't see a part number. Oh wait, here we go. Don't know if you can make that out. Clippered, what, 943.12.1 maybe? Or 843.12.1, something like that. Anyhow, let's get this put together. All right, now let's see if we can get the right throw on this thing. Oh, perfect. See, so that's about where I'll want to set it up at. Tech tip, if your screwdriver's too long, only use part of the screwdriver. Now, I'm still in mock-up stage, so I'm not going to tighten everything too much. What I did figure out is I have plenty of room now. See where I can adjust this and get the throw just right so that this thing doesn't, hopefully, doesn't tear itself apart. The only thing I don't like is it still puts it at an angle. See that? Not too sure if there's a way around that. So, what I'm going to do, I can't find the right size nut. I'm going to use this nut, which is too big, just a little bit too big. I'm going to slide it onto here. I'm going to use it as a shim. So then I'll wind up putting the correct size nut on the top, like so, and then my angle should be acceptable. So, you might be wondering, why am I standing next to a frozen pole? It's because now we're in Fairbanks, Alaska, because we keep moving all the time. Now, speaking of moving all the time, the video kind of cuts off there because once I put it all together, it worked perfectly. We took it out for a test drive, and then before you know it, we were camping. You'll see that on a future video too. So as always, thanks for coming along, and remember, be kind.